Bloomberg Audio Studios. Podcasts, radio, news.
The Stock Movers Report, your roundup of companies making moves in the stock market, harnessing the power of Bloomberg data.
Let's take a look at some stocks on the move today. I'm Nathan Hager, joined by Bloomberg's Dan Curtis on the kickoff of Big Tech Earnings Day. We're not expecting to hear from some of the major companies until after the close, Dan, but we've already heard overseas from chip designer ASML, and that stock is getting a lift this morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Nathan. That's right. ASML, it's the company that makes lithography machines, so really high precision companies that chip makers then use to create the chips that are fueling this AI boom. And ASML really benefiting from the AI boom. They're the only company that can make these machines. So it posted fourth quarter bookings of 13.2 billion euros. That's nearly double estimates. Over half the sales were driven by those top end machines, lithography machines that are needed to make these highly accurate chips. And it's interesting to look to where these are going. So the proportion of sales from the U.S. and South Korea increased, while China and Taiwan's portion of those sales fell. As I said, the demand is driven by the AI trade. All leading chip makers are customers, including TSMC and Intel. It's needed to produce the NVIDIA chips. So this is really fueling the AI trade this morning. The NASDAQ futures that you've been talking about getting a boost just off these earnings alone. The company did announce it would cut 1,700 jobs, and that was just in response to complaints about how bureaucratic it had become. But overall, the numbers looking pretty good.
Speaking of job cuts, that's what we're hearing from Amazon this morning.
That's right. More job cuts out from Amazon. It announced it will trim up to 16,000 corporate roles. That's also another effort to reduce bureaucracy and trim management layers, something that the CEO has been looking to do. These job cuts come after 14,000 layoffs were already announced months ago, and it follows a post-pandemic era hiring binge. And a lot of this comes in response to the company ramping up its spending on AI. Everything is going back to AI this morning. Amazon's seen spending nearly $150 billion on capital expenditures in the current year as it ramps up there. So it's looking to reduce bureaucracy and perhaps some of its employee costs as it's spending on the infrastructure.
Now, we got more earnings this morning, including from GE Vernova. This company's kind of turned into a tech play as well.
Yeah, almost everything has turned into a tech play that we're talking about. It's just what's moving today. So yeah, GE Vernova, those shares are actually just reversed a little bit lower after earnings. The energy equipment company is generally benefiting from the AI boom, though. It posted fourth quarter sales nearly $11 billion, beating estimates, a diluted EPS of over $13 a share. That was $10 higher than the Wall Street forecast. A lot of this is driven by, as we said, been talking about the AI boom. It has a $150 billion backlog for gas turbines, which are used to power data centers. And, you know, with the cold boom recently, those were even used to try and heat up some homes.
And finally, earnings this morning from AT&T as well. Those shares are heating up.
Yeah, those shares are up 4% in the pre-market. AT&T reported 421,000 new wireless subscribers in the fourth quarter. That was fewer than estimates, but despite that, sales and earnings for the quarter both came in above Wall Street estimates. The company also has a strong projection for this year. It's saying earnings will be about $2.25 to $2.35 for this year, with even the low end of that above the consensus expectation. The company also approved additional share buybacks and expects to repurchase $8 billion this year. So that money going back in shareholders' hands, helping to lift that stock up 4%.
The Stock Movers Report from Bloomberg Radio. Check back with us throughout the day for the latest roundup of companies making news on Wall Street. And for the latest market-moving headlines, listen to Bloomberg Radio live. Catch us on YouTube, Bloomberg.com, and on Apple CarPlay and Android Auto with the Bloomberg Business app.